Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is GITTEMARY and today I'm gonna share with you 10 swaps for your household that will make it instantly more sustainable. I've done sort of videos like this many times before. I've done videos like this in the past as well. And I'm thinking about taking a lot of these tips and turning them into a series, sort of going over 10 swaps for your bathroom, for your kitchen. This is generally for your house, for your garden, for your wardrobe. Let's talk about whether or not that's something you would want. I've done similar things and I show these kinds of tips throughout my vlogs as well, but I thought maybe it would be nice to have an updated, easily comprehensible guide available. So let me know if you want this to be sort of a series. I think it could be really fun to talk about. You guys could share your tips in the comments. We can be a little community. Let's all share it with each other. I think that's really nice. Also, can you hear that I'm a little bit ill? I don't know, it's in my throat. I don't know what's happening. I am at this point so thoroughly over it, I cannot even be bothered. But without further ado, let's get into the video. First thing that will make your home instantly more sustainable is a compost. You can have a compost if you live in a house with a big garden. That makes it really easy actually. But you can also have a compost in a flat. Now, I've tried different types of composting methods and some work better than others. I have a video on it, and once I move into my new apartment, there will be a new video about composting in an apartment. So stay tuned for that. The reason why composting is super important is because food waste and organic waste cannot decompose in landfills. And landfill is still the most frequent way of dealing with trash management, and it's a really bad idea. So the reason why organic waste, like for instance food scraps and food waste, cannot break down in landfills is because that you take your trash and then you put it into a hole in the ground and then you add more trash on top. And you keep doing that for the foreseeable future. It's a really bad idea because that creates absolutely no air for decomposition. Decomposition needs air to take place in the first place. That doesn't happen in landfills. They just simply become tombs for trash. So things like banana peels or carrot scraps, it can take years for them to break down. Instead, they will just lie there and emit methane, which is a greenhouse gas that's 25 times more potent than CO2. Moreover, food waste-wise, around 1/3 of all food in the world is wasted, and a lot of it is wasted in households. And a way to utilize just food scraps and overall just the waste your household might accumulate is by taking those raw materials, those organic materials, and turning them into something new and useful rather than letting them rot in a landfill. So turning them into mush that you can use in your house plants, for instance. It's a really good idea. It will make your home instantly more sustainable. And you will also not have to buy fertilizer for your plants because, hey, you're producing it yourself. It's pretty cool. Number 2 is reusable towels, reusable paper towels. You know, like the disposable paper towels. Yeah, you can get those as a reusable product as well. I thought a lot about whether or not I should include this actually because in Denmark and in many places in the world, this is just common knowledge. This is not a sustainable swap. This is just what people have been doing for ages. I know it's the case in a lot of countries in the world. I'm just talking for myself as a Danish person. Don't get me wrong, disposable paper towels do exist, but every single household I have ever been to in Denmark uses reusable dishcloths instead to clean up messes. Without a doubt, that's always what happens. A lot of the zero waste swap idea websites that I find, and sort of like one of the tips that I see people do often, is this reusable cloth hack. So I thought I wanted to talk about it because it seems like, especially for people in the US, this is not necessarily a thing, or it isn't as widespread. So I thought I wanted to mention it. Anywhere really where you can take a disposable product and replace it with a reusable product, this is one of the easiest things to implement into your life. Oh my goodness, this lighting. I am not prepared. Anyway, moving on to something that can be a bit more difficult, but doesn't have to be more difficult, is renewable energy, like clean energy supply. So many places, the consumer has completely free choice when it comes to what kind of energy they are using. So and energy is a weird sector, it's like a weird field because there's the energy grid and different kinds of suppliers put energy into the energy grid, and depending on what kind of supplier you're giving your money to, the more that energy they're supplying will be in the energy grid. It's a lot more technical than that, but that's at least sort of like the overall, that's the vibe, you know. And with one single phone call or one single email, you can actually change your energy supplier in a lot of places. Not always, there are monopolies somewhere, and that absolutely fucking sucks. But some places, like where I live as well, which is pretty cool, it takes one email to an energy supplier, letting them know, hey, I would love clean energy, I would love renewable energy, and they're just dealing with all the administrative funkiness of changing up your energy supplier. One single phone call or email. And it makes your home instantly more sustainable than if you're paying fossil fuel companies to power your home. It's not a vibe. If we can avoid it, we should avoid it. It does become more difficult or more resource intensive if we are talking about providing your own energy, like putting solar panels on your roof, stuff like that. I definitely encourage everyone who has the resources to change those things and do that, to do it. It's a really good investment. It has been a better investment. Right now it's not the best investment. It's gonna be a good investment again, I promise. But you guys are heroes, for sure. Another thing that will make your home instantly more sustainable if you're creating a good system for your recyclables, because that means you will be more likely to actually recycle if it's convenient and if you don't have to sit and sort through everything once you've binned it already. So in my house, I have a couple of different small bins where I put my plastics, my metals, my paper, my glass, and then my compost, etc. So instead of having to go through everything and just adding all recyclables into one bin, if you are required as a consumer to sort them into several bins, do that right away. And depending on sort of what type of recycling system you have near you, have a functional, practical recycling system in your home so it becomes easy and convenient for you in your everyday life to recycle. And you know, recycling is not a perfect system, it's actually quite broken. But it's a great place to start, it's just a bad place to stop. I will always advocate for waste reduction over recycling, but we do have to work within the systems that we are present within. Which also means that we have to partake in recycling if we are buying products that can be recycled, and I definitely think we should, whilst also demanding that the bar is just set a little bit higher than recycling. So another thing that can become quite practical, this is specifically for house owners, but have a good rainwater harvest system, rainwater collection system. Please do check if that is even legal in your local area. It's not all places that it's legal. Some places there are restrictions on rainwater collection, but it's not everywhere, so please have a look into it. But I love my rainwater collector for watering my plants. That means that I don't have to use tap water, and especially, now that's not really the case in Denmark, I still love to do it, but especially in places where there is water scarcity or there's overall just not enough water, it's a shame to use the good tap water to water your plants. So instead, rainwater all the way, baby. It does make your home more sustainable quite fast indeed. Hear me out on this. Install a bidet right now. Run, don't walk to Home Depot or whatever. What is those kind of stores? Like the handy, here I go to buy my building things kind of stores. Oh my god, I sound insane. This light is just not having it with me today. Maybe it's good. I don't know if this lighting is the vibe. The sun is just trying to hype me up, I guess. Anyway, installing a bidet can save you so much water. The amount of resources we use to make toilet paper is quite staggering. Over 350 trees go into the lifetime supply of one person's toilet paper. And using a bidet on average can reduce the amount of toilet paper that you use with 50%. Pretty cool. Also, making just one roll of toilet paper actually requires 37 gallons of water. And it does use a lot less water to use a bidet. So overall, using a bidet will save you water. It will also save you money, for sure. The coolest thing is you don't have to be a plumber to install a bidet, which is definitely something I am not. And you can also install it if you live in a rental. Now in my notes for number 7, I just wrote bike, which is technically not in your household, but it takes you from your household to other places. Now, using a bike instead of taking the car for smaller trips, like going to the shop, just going around, running errands, oftentimes, in many urban settings especially, a bike is a really great sustainable alternative to the car. So whenever you can choose to not drive, but rather take public transportation or bike, do that. It will definitely show on your carbon footprint. Now, and this is a tad more inside the home handy kind of thing, but use LED lights whenever you have to change your light bulbs. Anyway, change them to LED lights. It's insane how much more sustainable they are. LED light bulbs can last up to 25 times longer than conventional light bulbs and use 75% less energy. And in an energy crisis, I don't know about you guys, but in an energy crisis that does seem quite appealing. And also the planet, but whatever road sort of leads you to sustainability, I'm good with. Something that I find to be quite handy and a really neat and sort of like passive way of reducing your water consumption every day is installing water-saving taps. So you can get them both for shower heads as well as your taps in your sink. It sprays out the water with more pressure, which means that less water is coming out at a time, and you don't necessarily need a lot of water to wash your hair, wash your hands, etc. You can use less water, but with more pressure, and it's gonna be more sustainable. There are a couple of brands that do these water-saving taps, and they're really, really handy, and they will definitely make your home more sustainable. And lastly, you know I cannot make a video like this without talking about vegetables, without talking about the food that we eat. The fact is that the majority of our everyday footprint comes from our plate, because we're eating all the time, and what choices we make when it comes to what we're putting on our plate is just really super duper important. So eating seasonal local veg is just going to be more sustainable than supporting factory farming. It just is. I cannot fathom that I'm still sometimes debating with people that believe otherwise. I don't understand. It is the simplest of equations. Seriously. Livestock farming is responsible for 20 to 50% of all man-made greenhouse gas emissions. By cutting out meat and dairy, you can actually, on average, reduce your carbon footprint with around 50%. Exclusively talking about carbon emissions, it's just a better bet. It doesn't have to mean that you have to be 100% vegan and the entire world has to be 100% vegan. That's completely unrealistic. But reducing animal products is just going to make your home more sustainable. Overall, that's the tea. That's the tea. And with that, was 10 things that will make your household more sustainable. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. Me and my sore throat could definitely use it. And let me know if this is a series that you want to see more of, because I would love to make more types of videos like this. We can also do 10 things that will make your vacation more sustainable. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I would really love to know if you guys want to see more of this, and let me know if that's the case. If you do, also please subscribe to my channel. That would make my day. Have an amazing day and take really good care of yourselves. Until next time. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green, zero-waste content, and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!